Oh,
Football. It doesn't feel right without Rob, going.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need a new intro for Quick Snap.
Yeah, we do.
Maybe we should just have like an MP3 of Rob doing that, but at like ×4 speed.
Yeah. I like it. It's good.
Perfect. Yeah, no, ideal.
There you go. I mean, quick is in the name, so.
True.
Welcome everyone for the next Quick Snap or Rock Hard Robs or whatever we're calling it. Hello, Solar Vanity. Welcome. Obviously, the game just wrapped up, and it went exactly the way that literally everyone saw it happening, except for Coach and Rob, who are both not here. So we have Alpaca Patrol gone. Coach Crendor currently streaming, but we are joined by the beautiful Bear Taffy and the awesome Apollo. I had to go for the alliteration there.
Oh, nice.
I love alliteration.
Anyway, I want to nominate this game for the most misleading score line of this year so far.
Oh yeah, big time.
It says it's a 5-point game, but man, did it not feel like it at any point, even the very end of the game.
Yep.
Bucks are bad.
Bucks are bad. Yeah.
Bucks are bad.
They came out. They looked great at the start. Put up 10 points. Drove right down the field. Looked good. The offense looked like it was clicking, and then they just went, I'm done. Goodbye.
It's like you or someone recently said, though, it's all about, like what can you do beyond that first beautiful orchestrated drive that everybody has,
Yeah.
Like, you got to expect that, and then you got to be consistent after that. I think Richard Sherman said something to this effect too, as much as I, never really want to be seen agreeing with Richard Sherman, but he made a good point. It's like, you got to be consistent with it. You can show up a couple of drives and have a good offense, but if you can't do that the whole game, then it's not going to work.
Yeah. There was so much promise on the first drive. It's like, okay, well, I'm glad to be wrong for Pick'ems as long as the Bucks win. And then they did exactly what they always do, which is just get a little too overconfident way too quickly. The defense thinks they're better than they are, and they could not stop Lamar. And there's no secondary. I mean, the Bucks just have no defense, and if you can't stop the run, you will not win the game.
Well, it was. I forget what the name of the color commentator is on Thursday Night Football, Kirk or whatever. He was saying that the defense was gassed, and they got gassed. Like, 38-minute time of possession for the Ravens. Like,
you got to get them off the field.
You can't. It's less about them. More your offense is to stay on the field as well. Like, 231 rushing yards to the Tampa Bay's 44.
Yep.
Like, that is absurd.
Yep. And all the injuries on the O-line are really starting to be apparent for the Bucks. And, I think that a lot of people they're throwing a lot of the fault on Tom as well. Tom is not playing very well. But again, I will say that we had this same problem in 2020 for the Super Bowl run. Now, I'm not saying this is the same team, obviously, but what I am saying is that I'm not hitting the panic button yet, but the Bucks need to get their stuff together because I have no confidence in them right now.
I've been saying it for every team the whole year. There's definitely some coaching problems going on here. It's
absolute coaching, yeah.
The defense was definitely gassed at the end there, but the Bucks get a field goal. They put the game within reach. They just need to get a stop. And Baltimore gets a 30-yard kick return, so normal kick return on a drive where the Bucks need to get a stop, so that's just bad. And then the first play is a 40-yard run. Like, this is the Ravens. They're a run-based team. They're the biggest run-based team in the league, except maybe Chicago or something. And that's what they're going to do. And you just let them go 40 yards in the first play and basically end the game just like that.
Yeah,
you can't do that. You get some kind of scheme was called wrong there or something, or the players are just not clicking on all cylinders, because that just should never happen. Like,
Gus Edwards is looking real nice. That whole running offense for the Ravens, like, I know the Bucks running defense is really nothing special, but
not anymore. It's not. Yeah,
the Ravens offense, I think, is still just about as good as it's been over the last 3 or 4 years, and is still, something that can contend.
Well, unfortunately for the Ravens, Gus Edwards did get injured, I think, in the third quarter. Not sure to what extent.
Did he go out? I didn't know.
It was the third or the beginning of the fourth, yeah.
Yeah, he did go out. And Mark Andrews also went out in the second quarter.
Yeah, I know Andrews went out. That's a big blow for sure. He's a big part of their offense.
Yeah, the Ravens didn't come away unscathed, but I mean, looking at the team stats right now, the Bucks only turned it over once. But total yards 453 to the Bucks 349. The time of possession, as Apollo was saying, 38 minutes 23 seconds to 21 minutes and 37 seconds. I mean, that is more than a quarter just holding the ball by themselves. That's an extra quarter that the defense had to stay out for. And 27 first downs to 20 first downs. That's not bad in terms of like a losing game. I mean, 20 first downs isn't bad. Third down efficiency, both teams were not great. Both were under 500. The Ravens at 6 for 13. The Bucks were 4 for 13. But just the sheer amount of effort on one side of the ball for the Ravens versus the Bucks, who you can't blame him for being gassed. But I mean, there was the third touchdown, and I think it was the third quarter where Devin White just gave up on it because he was so tired. Like
he looked totally
dead.
He
just gave up on it with 10 like 8 yards out. I mean, it was ridiculous. And I mean, the Bucks, it is all Todd Bowles and the play calling, the offensive play calling. I mean, they're trying like reverses and stuff where they're down by 2 scores in the midfield, like not even in field goal range. I mean, it is a disaster across the board play calling wise. The Bucks have got to get rid of Bowles and have got to get rid of Leftwich for me to have any more faith in them right now.
I do want to speak more on the Ravens because I don't know if Ravens fans are going to like hearing this comparison, but this Ravens team is actually reminding me shockingly a lot of like the Steelers team from like 3 or 4 years ago, which was a team that is very strong and should be a great team. And they start the game strong. They look good the whole game. And in the fourth quarter, they go, I don't want to play anymore. And they just give up like 1 million points, and the games are all fucking like heart wrenching. Like you're just like you're heart racing, I should say, because you're just sitting there like you're like, how are we one score? How's this 1 score game? We've outplayed them the entire game. Why are you doing this? And this is like every game for the Ravens this year is them either blowing a fourth quarter lead or almost blowing a fourth quarter lead. That's like 7 out of their 8 games. Like I don't know who's to blame for that, but that has to stop. If the Ravens want to be respected, at least by me, which I'm very important, so they need to stop doing this. Like you seem like you should be a good team, but you're gonna keep staying a mediocre team if you can't finish these games off. Because I mean, too many mistakes. Like this is a pretty beat up, shitty Bucks team, and you get a freebie at the start of the game. They fumble a punt catch or punt return, and you get the ball at like the 5-yard line. You can't score 7 points with your amazing run team, so you get 3, and then you drive all the way down the field in the second quarter, or I think it was the second quarter, and then you can't convert on 4th down in the red zone and get the touchdown. Like you wait. Like if this was a better team, the Ravens would have lost. So
yeah, absolutely.
If the Ravens want to go to the playoffs and be a Super Bowl team, they're going to need to fix that. Just again, I don't know if it's a coaching problem or what, but that can't continue for them.
The more you talk about it, the more I'm like, why have the Ravens been a middle of the pack team in my mind the entire season, when in reality they have every piece basically? Like it doesn't feel like this team is missing much. It's apart from maybe what you said, it's just like kind of a lack of good coaching, or I don't know. I can't really pinpoint it because they should be better than they are. They should be one of the better teams in the league right now, I think.
Lamar is not clutch in the fourth quarter, and I think that the Ravens defense they get tired, and they also kind of let up towards the fourth quarter as well. I mean, it's an overconfidence issue, but I think it's also a coaching issue for that. The Ravens they're perennially the middle of the road. They may take a game from a good team or not, in my mind, with the weapons that they have, especially Kenyon Drake. Like he's looking great right now. But of course the Bucs defense, or lack thereof, also really helped make that case. I will say congrats to Tom for being the most sacked quarterback in NFL history, by the way. Good job, Tom. I mean, not to be unexpected, considering that he's played for, more than half of all of our lives combined.
I think like that was the
he took it from Ben, which is hilarious because Ben played like 10 less years or something ridiculous like that. I don't know how many it was, but
that must be the reason he came back this year, right? Because he knew he was so close to getting that record. Yeah,
he's addicted to records.
But this breaks another record, right? This is his first 3-game losing streak in
20 years.
20 years or something.
It's the first time that he's ever been sub 500 in 2 games in a row as a starter. But halfway through here, the quick snap, everyone, just remind you, those of you watching on the live stream here on YouTube, or if you're watching this on the VOD, make sure you click the like button and post comments and stuff. All that stuff goes a long way with growing the podcast, helping out the channel. We really appreciate everyone doing so. Thank you very much for that. Some of the live discussion, people are talking about would Bruce Arians coming back help? I say no. It's the same thing I said at the start of this week's podcast, talking about the Bucs game, where Bruce left the game. He deliberately. Thank you all for clicking the like button. We just jumped up by 20 likes. He deliberately left football in order to get away from it because he just doesn't want to do it anymore. And he went out on the high note, kind of. I mean, we should have almost gotten to the Super Bowl last year against the Rams, at least beating the Rams. But it's more. It goes deeper than just the head coach. The way that the Bucs are playing right now, they just need a change across the board. Tom is not playing the best. I don't think he's the root of the problem, though. The play calling is so much more in favor of Leftwich right now. Tom doesn't really agree with it. I'm not trying to make excuses for the man, but I think that even if somehow they got Arians back, it's not going to right the ship for the Buccaneers. We need something better than that.
The Bucs in the red zone are terrible.
They really are.
It's insane. I've never seen Tom struggle this much to score touchdowns. It took like a given for a long time. Yeah, it's problems on his end too. It's not just the team. Like, he's making bad decisions in the red zone.
Yeah, and he's underthrowing balls too. And some people were saying some people were speculating as to draw the penalty, which is, I mean, Tom's definitely smart enough to do that, but he's not dumb enough to also just throw up a goose egg and just
there's only so many things you can attribute to he meant to do it.
He's the greatest of all time, but he's not like a mad genius, And I do. What's sad about it is that the Bucs, even at 3-5, they still are in the running for the division title.
Yeah, that's wild.
So that's why I'm not hitting the panic button yet, but. As someone who's been a lifelong Bucs fan, and I love the team, and I love Tom and everything that we're doing. I do not like what we're doing right now, at all. And I think that Tom probably is going to feel the frustration as well. Again, people are going to throw out the personal life stuff. I honestly, I still stick to my guns and say that the divorce stuff, this was
like, he's the only person that has a fucking personal life.
I know.
Why the fuck are people focusing on it so much?
It's because so stupid. He's the face of the NFL and he's the GOAT, so everyone's got a gun for him, But
everybody's got shit going on. He's not the only dude that's ever dealt with a family problem.
It's like everyone's like, oh, they announced a divorce. Oh, what? Oh, so what? He loses the ability to play football? Get out of here! Like,
that's so fucking dumb, man.
It's tiring to hear, and it is not inclusive of what the actual problem, which is the focus of the problem for the Buccaneers, is coaching. It comes down to coaching and poor play calling, and that's on Leftwich and Todd Bowles. They've got to go. I do not have any faith in our ability to score points right now. Give the reins to Tom, fire Leftwich, get rid of Bowles. Just get someone else in there, give more control to Tom, let him do what he does best, which is out there, change the play call, make the play calls, and just move the football, because that's what the Bucs need to do. They're playing uninspired. Tonight was the most uninspired game, like 22 points I've ever seen any team put up on the board. And
they don't look like a football team playing football. Like you watch football and you see, like, whenever players make big plays, they get all excited, they get hyped up, or they, like, the only one that seems to be showing any emotion is Tom. And even like, he is not, like, normally he gets angry, he's like, baby raging, throwing shit around. Like, even he seems subdued. Like, there's no emotion on this team. It's like they know that they're bad, and they.
I think there's kind of like a "why are you still here" vibe for him, from the rest of the players. You know what I mean?
I don't. If it were anyone else, I'd say yes, but I think that they still have faith in his ability. But that's the only that's the problem with him being who he is that when you see him start to, like, when we had the drop ball, he just kind of threw up his hand and like what else can I do? There's no turning back. When people see that, the entire team is reactionary towards that, and I think
especially the young guys.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the double-edged sword that it is with Tom being Tom, is just that when he starts to really lose focus and starts to kind of get unhinged and unraveled, it breaks the cohesiveness of the entire team. So, bottom line is, the Buccaneers are in trouble. We still might win the division, which is just stupid. The Ravens did a good job, and they did better. It was just better coaching and better play all around. So. But yeah, thank you all very much. We're already over 50 likes after we just mentioned it one time here on the Quick Snap. So Check us out. Go listen to the main podcast if you haven't already. We'll probably be back sometime on Sunday night or maybe Monday, depending on which one of the guys wants to join us for the quick snap. And thanks to Bear and Apollo for joining us late here. And I hope you guys enjoy it and doing these. I just love having more excuses to talk with my friends about football. So this is all good for me.
Oh yeah,
it is fun.
So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, everyone. Click the like button, leave comments, all that stuff. Let us know what you think is going down in Tampa, and we will see you all on the next podcast or Quick Snap.